Most traders lose money in the market not because they don't know how to trade, but more so because they don't know where the market is heading. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through my exact method on how I'm able to identify a clear draw on liquidity and then how I'm able to drill down to a lower time frame and take high probability entries. I'm going to walk you through a trade that I took today on NQ and how I was able to finish up around $2,000 on the week. All right, so first and foremost, we want to identify where the higher time frame is expected to expand to. This is the most important part of my strategy personally, because without being able to identify clearly where the higher time frame is expected to expand to, then I feel like I'm just trading for pattern's sake, and then I feel like that's where I get in most of my trouble. My best trades come when they are in flow with the higher time frame draw on liquidity. So what that means is if the higher time frame is expected to expand higher, then I want to wait for manipulation into sell side liquidity before going higher, and vice versa. If the higher time frame is expected to expand lower, I want to wait for manipulation into buy side liquidity before heading lower. So now that we have our higher time frame narrative, whether it's bullish or bearish, right? We want to see bullish or bearish, okay, for the higher time frame draw on liquidity, or for the higher time frame narrative. We want to see if we're bullish or bearish. Then, following figuring out where we want to go, where we're expected to expand to, I now want to see if there's any smooth edges in the marketplace when I get to my desk in the morning to see if there's any clear draw on liquidity. So we want to see a clear draw on liquidity from the overnight session. And if there's no smooth edges, they're all taken from the overnight session, then I'm just probably not going to trade that day. So with the smooth edges, we have a clear draw on liquidity. Then following that, we want to see manipulation at 9:30. Okay. At 9:30, we want to see a manipulation in the opposing direction of the draw on liquidity. So if we're bearish, we want to see a sweep of buy side first. And then if we're bullish, we want to see a sweep of sell side first. I'm going to keep drilling this and drilling this and drilling this because this has saved me so much money and has completely turned my trading around, because I used to just be taking trades willy-nilly, not being able to identify when the fake move was going to happen before the real move. But being able to identify the actual manipulation level has saved me thousands of dollars and such mental clarity. So after we have our 9:30 manipulation into our area of the opposing direction of draw on liquidity, then we will have our entry model. Me personally, what I like to see is an inversion fair value gap paired with a change on the state of delivery. Okay, so this entire flow right here is exactly what I look for every single day when I sit at my desk at 8:30. I'm identifying where the higher time frame is expected to expand to. Are there any smooth edges in the marketplace that are towards the higher time frame draw on liquidity? I want to see manipulation in the opposing direction of the draw on liquidity, and then I'm looking for my entry model, okay, which is an inversion fair value gap or a change in the state of delivery. So knowing all of this, I now want to walk you through the setup that I took today, that I ended up taking a really nice winner on, and then also was able to result in being up around $2,000 on the week. All right, so to get into the trade review for today, the first thing that I want to note is where are we expected to expand to on the higher time frame. So a higher time frame for me on where I'm looking at market direction is the daily and the 4-hour. And the one thing that I noticed coming into today is that after we swept these sell side liquidity levels down here and we had this SMT, we have the run higher yesterday towards this all-time high. But the thing with today's all-time high and where we're at, when I get to my desk this morning, the one thing that I noticed is the S&P 500 has taken the all-time high and NQ has failed to do so. So now that our major draw on liquidity has been met on one asset, I am no longer looking more so for a long entry because the draw on liquidity has been met with an SMT. So now my thought process is going to shift to two things. We either consolidate today after NFP, or we have a TGIF setup where we rebalance lower after the run higher all week. And when I get to my desk this morning, the one thing that I noticed, if we move this back before 9:30, is we have relatively equal lows with the Asia session. Okay, so we can see that the London session failed to take out the Asia lows, and then NFP failed to take out the Asia lows as well, and we left these stacked lows, these relatively equal lows. So now that I have my higher time frame bias, my higher time frame narrative that we may rebalance lower or consolidate after the S&T at all-time highs, I'm looking for confirmations on a lower time frame to tell me when the market would possibly move lower. I know that the market could possibly move lower or rebalance, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. I have to know when and then time it correctly. So what I'm looking for at 9:30, if we do want to go lower, I want to see a manipulation in the opposing direction of the drawn liquidity. So if we're targeting sell side equal lows, I want to see a sweep of this buy side level right here that we created right before the 9:30 open. If we can get a sweep of buy side and then a entry model with correct confirmations to the downside, then I will take that short down to the Asia relatively equal lows at 23,701 3/4. So right at market open, we can see that we had this manipulation higher into this buy side liquidity area. It was fast. It was right at 9:30, and then we shifted lower, taking out these lows and changing the state of delivery to the downside. So now that I have my manipulation into buy side and then a shift in structure back to the downside, I'm now looking to take my entry to target short. I ended up taking my entry right here after I see that we're rejecting this change in the state of delivery, and then I targeted the relatively equal lows from the Asia sell side liquidity. So you can see we run higher, almost ticks me out, and then eventually we move lower once that new hourly candle opened up. But you can see how efficient this is and how the market isn't going to leave these smooth edges because there's still resting orders there. This is the setup that I look for every single day. This is the setup that has simplified my trading. Without manipulation, there's no trade. Without any higher time frame buys, without any high time frame narrative, there's no trade. Having a system like this allows you to create clear plans and then also create clear invalidation points to save you, losses in money and mental capital, really. So this is what I look for every single day. I really hope that you guys are taking something from these videos. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me on Instagram. I'm more than happy to help you guys. I do plan on continuing to create more trade reviews like this and offering more value. But I will talk to you guys next time, and good luck with trading.